Hey, it's Jeremy here. I want to be talking about font licensing. Someone requested that I just talk about it briefly, and I'm going to give you some links in the description. You can go look up and read more about it, but I'm just going to give you the basics. I'm on monotype.com, and they also own My Fonts. This site has amazing fonts. You can see here, some of them cost a lot, but they're really well-designed fonts from like professional designers. So, this is a cool site, cool resource as well. So, licensing is very important. Like, typography is one of the biggest things in design, so you need to know how to use it properly. Obviously, it can vary from different platforms and companies, and around the world, some people value it more than others. I know a lot of people that torrent fonts, and I used to do that as well, but now I buy fonts, or I just use free ones, because you want to respect the designer, and you want to, if you really value design, then, you should, be purchasing fonts and supporting that design and the community. So it's really important to understand the basics of licensing, and don't be that person that resells fonts or all that stuff. So anyway, so I'm going to go through the basics. So there's different types of a license. So the main ones are desktop, and then you got web fonts, and then you can see on Monotype they've got 4 different ones: products, mobile, EPUB, server. But the main ones are desktop, web font, and then pretty much products, which is apps and phones and all that stuff. So the difference between a desktop and a web font, you can use it for, websites, digital ads, emails, all that type of thing. And then a desktop can be used for all your Adobe programs or Affinity Designer or whatever your program you're using, Illustrator, it doesn't matter. All those programs, you can use it because you're paying for the license to use it on your machine, on your PC or your Mac or whatever. So you got to remember that it's when you buy a font, you're buying the license to use it. So you don't actually own the font. The designer actually owns the font. So you got to keep that in mind. You're buying the rights to use that font on your system and in the software that you're using. And what happens when you purchase a font, usually you will get like a EULA, which is an end user license agreement. So if I open example one, this is one of the licenses I have for one of the fonts on my computer. So you can see sometimes it comes in a PDF, sometimes it will come in a notepad like this, and you can see all the usage, all this stuff I can't do, distribution, modification, I can't resell it. I can only have 2 workstations to use it on, and all that stuff. So it gives you the basic terms and conditions in the licensing agreement for this font here. So usually you'll get this within the folder that you purchase, but always take a look at it and keep in mind that once you purchase, you'll abide to these rules. So yeah, so you've got desktop, you've got web, and you've got products. So sometimes a lot of free fonts allow you to use for both personal and commercial, and that's the 2 main ones. So you've got personal and commercial. So personal is going to be like projects you do for yourself. So like, projects that you just logos or branding or whatever you do, just personal ones, like just side projects and stuff like that you just do for fun. So those types of ones are going to be personal. Commercial is one that you're going to use for client work, ones that you're going to use on products that are going to sell for thousands of products. So that's going to be commercial. And sometimes they have commercial extended, which I'll show you. So you can see, I'll send you this link here, so you can read it later. But yeah, so if I go to Creative Market, I sell products on there, and you can see some of these licenses. As I was saying before, they've got personal, commercial, and they even have extended commercial. So you can see their basic uses I can use it for. So personal just can use for products not for sale, and on one personal social media account with non-commercial activities. This is Creative Market. It's different on different sites, but I like how they laid it out here. It's simple. And you can see here, cannot be used for products for sale, can't be used for web apps or games, can't be used for physical, digital ads, etc. And then if I go to commercial, you can see here the license is limited for 5,000 end products for sale. So maybe I'm making a texture pack or a graphic design pack, and I want to sell a product on my own site. If I use a font for the cover design or whatever, it's limited to 5,000 unless I go and purchase a custom license. So you can actually buy custom licenses as well. You just message the person or the type foundry, and you can organize that. So you can see commercial opens it up, and I can do, unlimited and other things a lot more flexibility pretty much. And then you can see, but I can't use it for apps and web apps and stuff like that. But extended commercial gives me the full spectrum, but obviously it costs more. So that's one downside. Typically, I don't usually get extended commercial because I'm not using it for those like specific things like apps and things, because I mainly do branding and identity design. So I usually stick with the personal and commercial ones. So I try and get free fonts that I can use for both, and I try and get free fonts that have a lot of styles as well. So if I go on design cuts, you can see it's a little bit different. The license allows me to use the resource to create any product for sale, personal and client projects as well, and I can use it in multiple projects. So if I have multiple clients, I can use the same font in multiple projects, which is really useful. Obviously, I can't redistribute, I can't resell it on my own site, and because a lot of people steal people's work and they say it's theirs and they try and sell it. Don't do that, that's bad, unless you want to get sued, but obviously not many people do that. But anyway, can't resell it or re-download on other download sites or stock images, and I cannot use the resource if the end client's annual revenue is more than 25 million. So for like a big brand like Nike or Adidas, if I'm doing like a campaign or something, I need a special license to use it for that specific thing. But obviously, most of you guys probably just working with small to medium sized clients, which is okay. So yeah, those are the basics and the gist of font licensing. That's all you need to know really to start design and start using the licenses. Try and stick with free fonts. There's plenty of free fonts out there that you can find that has commercial and personal, which is what you want. But yeah, always keep these tips in mind when you're looking for fonts and when you're building out your font library, and get some money, save some money up and invest in buying some fonts. Like even design cuts, they usually do bundles, which I like because I've bought fonts off them from before in a bundle, and it saves you money and it's really useful, and you can get some cool little fonts as you can see here. Hope this was helpful. Hope this covered a bit about font licensing. If you want to watch anything else regarding about fonts and typography and stuff like that, I'll be glad to make another. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. It really helps me out, and I look forward to creating more content every week.